I was really fortunate that I had a really good team around me who kind of embodied the playfulness and the fun side of climbing. And I'm really glad about that, because kind of my dad would always say when I was little, like, what's the point if you're not enjoying it?
So a nice easy segue here from the future of hard bouldering to another one of the world's hardest boulderers and Olympian. Shauna Coxsey is here at Kendal Mountain Festival. How's the festival going so far for you?
It's so good to be back at the festival. I really love it. It's such a good vibe here, and the sun's shining today, which definitely helps. Last night we had the Future of Hard Bouldering talk, which went really well and was received really well by the crowd, where everyone was really engaged. And yeah, to sit and speak with Jerry, Max and Will was just so fun.
Awesome. And did you get an early night in, or did you sort of hang out a bit, have a pint afterwards? Or
No, I ran straight, almost ran. It's kind of rainy, so straight back to the hotel to be with my daughter. So yeah, no pints for me last night, but it was definitely fun. I feel like there was a good vibe going out afterwards, and kind of a little bit sad to miss that, but nice to go back to
mum
Frankie.
life.
Exactly, mum life.
And how's Frankie doing? Is she enjoying the festival?
She absolutely loves people and being at events like this. I guess her whole life has been kind of going to different events, so yeah, she really enjoys it. And there's so many dogs around, which is like her happy place, just hanging out with
And me.
little people and dogs.
I can get on board with that. Yeah, little people and dogs sounds great. So you were hosting the Future of Hard Bouldering session, as you mentioned, along with Will Bosey, who we've just been speaking to before. So was it one of those sessions that you just sort of walk out of feeling like really psyched, like you kind of want to go climbing? Obviously, the weather's not really allowing for that right now, but...
I mean, my husband's actually gone climbing. I'm pretty jealous. With a broken finger currently, not able to join him today. Otherwise, I would be in search of dry rock for sure. But it was a session that really felt like it touched a lot on kind of the history and the past, because obviously we're looking at the future, but you can't look to that with kind of talking about the present and the past. So to be there chatting with Jerry, you know, who is just so psyched on climbing still, like he couldn't peel his eyes off the screen when there was footage on from kind of Will doing burden and Max jumping around doing his comp stuff. So yeah, it was really like such a privilege to be around such energy. And I think the one theme throughout the three of them, and I guess myself included, is that to kind of pursue that elite, there's this obsession and this love and this desire to become something that is elite, I guess. So yeah, it was really fun to be around that energy.
Nice. So you're set to take the stage again tomorrow for the Petzl and North Face climb session, and you're going to be chatting to our latest Olympic qualifier, Toby Roberts.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're very well positioned to be chatting to him about that. What are you most looking forward to about that session?
I really enjoy chatting to Toby because his passion is just undeniable, and he kind of oozes elite level performance. You know, he just wants to talk about it, and he just wants to climb everything that's put in front of him, which is just so pure. And also Molly Thompson-Smith, who will be pursuing a spot at the Olympics coming into next year. She spoke at the Women's Climbing Symposium last weekend, and hearing her speak about her journey was really fascinating. So yeah, I can't wait to share the stage with both of them.
What sort of insight and what's your kind of like best piece of advice that you're going to offer to, obviously Molly's sort of maybe a bit more experienced, but with Toby, like what would you kind of give him as somebody sort of as a rising star maybe?
I think both for Molly and Toby, and something Molly touched on a little bit, is just to try and find ways to keep it fun and enjoy the process, because you know, I have the privilege now of being able to look back on my career as a competition climber, having transitioned recently into rock climbing, and I think I was really fortunate that I had a really good team around me who kind of embodied the playfulness and the fun side of climbing. And I'm really glad about that, because kind of my dad would always say when I was little, like, what's the point if you're not enjoying it? And you can lose your way a little bit, especially when you turn kind of your passion and your hobby into your profession. So I think, yeah, my biggest advice would be to find ways to keep it fun.
Nice. So throwing this one out as well, what are you most excited for the rest of the festival? Is it just like, is there a session in particular? Is it just hanging out with friends? Is it the food?
I my favourite thing about this festival is that you bump into people that you didn't plan to meet up with. When I come here, I always plan to meet up with friends. And I love that. But I also love the fact that you see people you didn't expect to see, and you find those connections that you'd maybe lost. And just the general buzz around this festival is so magical that I think it's kind of a really fortunate place to be when you kind of make those connections again.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's sort of, you can't walk more than 5 paces without running into somebody that you know. It's just a sea of outdoor people, and yeah, it's great, isn't it? Just have that connection with people again.
Yeah, and it might be someone that you've not met for a long time, or it might be someone that you have a mutual friend with and you've never quite made a connection. There's so many different kind of ways to meet people here, and reasons to meet people and make new friends and kind of share stories. And I think that's one of the most beautiful things about events like this, is that there's kind of serendipity about it in some ways.
Absolutely, yeah. So I've got to ask you this one as a Lakelander myself, and obviously we are in the Lake District. What's your favourite place to climb over this neck of the woods?
Oh, my favourite place to climb here is the Langdale Boulders, because I just love that valley. And there's not much on the boulders, and I've done almost everything there, but I love being there because it's just really insanely beautiful. Like on a good day, you can see all the way down the valley, and I love it, but my husband loves it even more, which is probably the reason why I love it so much.
Yeah, it's a good family venue as well. You just
it was the first place I ever climbed outdoors with my daughter. She was 6 or 7 weeks old. She was super tiny. Ned's been going to Langdale his entire life. It's like his second home. So for us to go there, it feels really familiar. It feels really nice to be in that valley. So yeah, we want to share that with Frankie too.
So it's always going to be a special place then for her as well.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the festival. I hope you have a great weekend.
Thank you so much.